All right, let's talk about battlefield vehicles. But today, we're not just talking about the flashy firepower or the biggest explosions. We are digging into the one thing that truly separates the legends from the rookies, and that's logistics. Yep, it's the hidden strategy that actually wins matches.
Come on, we have all been there. You're on an absolute roll. You're pushing deep into enemy lines with a shiny new tank. But then it happens. You're out of ammo, your health is blinking red, and suddenly that powerhouse of a vehicle is just a coffin on treads. That classic rookie mistake of pushing too far? Yeah, that ends today.
And this right here, this is the core idea. This is everything. The true legends of the battlefield, they get it. They understand that keeping their vehicle alive, repaired, rearmed, and ready to go, that's the real key to dominating a match. So how do you get there? How do you master logistics? Well, it all starts with understanding your supply network. We're going to break down the entire system for you, from the safest bases all the way to the riskiest frontline options, so you can see exactly how the pros stay in the fight. Okay, first things first. We have to get the basics down. These are the fixed supply stations, the absolute pillars of your war machine that anchor your team's entire strategy. So let's start at the very beginning, your home base. This is the bedrock of your supply line. It's the one place that every single player, from day one rookie to seasoned pro, absolutely needs to know like the back of their hand. Just think of your main base as a giant strategic reset button. You know, when a push goes sideways or you've taken a real beating, falling back here gets you back in the fight at 100%. Guaranteed. It's your ultimate safe zone. All right, let's take to the skies for a second. Jets and helicopters, they play by a different set of rules. They've got their own unique resupply mechanic that is absolutely essential for keeping control of the air. And listen, using these fly-through zones is a skill all on its own. A good pilot is in this constant dance, right? They're balancing their need for more rockets with the huge risk of flying into a predictable path, exactly where enemy anti-air is probably waiting. It's a massive high-stakes trade-off. Okay, so we've covered the static, home-based stuff. Now let's get into the really interesting part. It's time to talk about the dynamic, player-driven supply options that can totally flip the script and change the flow of a battle. And that brings us to a critical tactical asset. I'm talking about the stations that let your team push forward and actually hold ground, far, far away from the safety of your main deployment. This is where the real strategic depth of the game kicks in. Seriously, think about it. Where your squad decides to place one of these things can lock down a choke point, it can support an objective, it can even cut off an entire enemy flank. It's a huge tactical decision that can win or lose you a whole sector. But, and this is a big but, here's the catch. Unlike your base stations, these things can be destroyed. And that creates this constant little mini battle all over the map. Protecting your own stations and hunting down the enemies becomes just as crucial as capturing the main objective itself. Finally, we've got the most mobile, most immediate form of resupply out there. This one links an individual player's action directly to the survival and success of their entire squad. We call this micro-logistics. It is perfect for keeping a push going down those tight city corridors, or when you're fighting inside a building where a tank just can't help you. It's the glue that holds everything together, bridging the gaps between those bigger, fixed stations. Okay, now we get to the heart of it all. This is where we put everything we've learned together into one single, game-changing strategy. This is what separates the best from the rest. This is the pro mindset right here. For them, supply points are not just some emergency pit stop. No way. For a top-tier player, those points are tactical waypoints. They dictate the entire route and the whole plan of attack before a single shot is even fired. You want to make this process automatic, just second nature. Before you even think about attacking an objective, you locate the nearest supply point. Then you plan your route through that point. You hit the objective, pull back to resupply, and then you repeat the loop. It's a disciplined cycle that keeps you effective and, more importantly, keeps you on the battlefield. All right, let's bring it all home. Let's talk about how you actually make that mental shift. How you go from being just another driver to a strategic mastermind who can actually shape the entire battlefield. Just look at the contrast here. The difference is night and day, right? The pro is always thinking about their next supply point, their team, and their escape route. The rookie? They just charge in alone, camp in one spot, and you know what happens next. They get stranded and blown up. That focus on logistics is the real difference maker. And that's really what it all boils down to. When you master logistics, you become so much more than just a person in a vehicle racking up kills. You become a true force multiplier. You become the backbone that lets your entire team push forward and grab that win.
So, I want to leave you with this. The next time you jump into a match, think about it. Are you ignoring those supply lines? Are you pushing way too far without a plan to get back? Pick one of those habits, just one, and focus on eliminating it. I promise you'll be one step closer to becoming a true battlefield legend.